I will never forget my first experience with GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64. The year was 1997. I was 11 years old and was sporting one of those cool GX gamer TVs with the built-in speakers. I had just came from Blockbuster after renting GoldenEye. The moment I started playing, my parents could hear how excited I was getting playing the game. So they went out, and a couple short hours later, my parents came back home, came into my room, and surprised me with my very own copy of GoldenEye, which I proudly still own to this day. Little did I know that I was playing what became one of the greatest games of all time and what set the standard for first-person shooters. It's been over 13 years since the original GoldenEye revolutionized the first-person shooter genre, and when Activision announced they were remaking the Nintendo 64 Classic for the Nintendo Wii and DS, well, check this video out, as most gamers shared the same reaction.
Who here would say that it's one of the greatest shooters of all time?
Everybody.
Set the standards for all video games in the future.
It was the first game that I could play multiplayer for 4 hours straight.
For me, it was the original. I mean, like, if you hooked it up now, I'd be down to play.
Let's say that after 13 years of gaming innovation, a new GoldenEye game is coming up.
Oh my God! Yes.
Believe me, I was screaming like a little schoolgirl when I heard about the remake, and now here we are, November 2nd, 2010, and it's time to fall in love all over again, thanks to developer Eurocom and publisher Activision. Now let's start with the obvious. Ultimately, it was decided to drop Pierce Brosnan in favor of the current Bond, Daniel Craig. This is not an issue since the developers decided not to make an enhanced port of the Nintendo 64 version, rather update it and change the story elements and level designs. So in addition to reimagining the story of GoldenEye, Activision has still kept a lot of the original content, like when Daniel Craig recites famous lines from the original game.
Hey James, for England? For England, Alec. Always for England.
It's interesting to note that GoldenEye uses the A1 bot engine that Eurocom used to develop their previous title, Dead Space Extraction. Now what's really cool with this remake is it allows you to take a different approach to the locations that were in the original game on the Nintendo 64. For example, when you gotta meet your contact Valentine, you have your smartphone, and with your smartphone you are in a nightclub and you use your smartphone to scan around, and you're scanning for faces, looking for your contact, and it's a really cool and intuitive way, and it takes a new spin on the levels and the designs. Even with all the changes, the story stays largely intact from the Nintendo 64 version. Bruce Fairstein, who wrote the screenplay for the movie GoldenEye, was personally involved with the remake of the game and also penned the script. After James Bond and 006 agent Alec Trevelyan infiltrate a facility in Russia, they plant bombs to destroy mass destruction weapons. Alec is caught and his death is staged.
Olé!
Bond, of course, escapes, jacks a motorcycle, and rides it off a cliff, chasing after an airplane. And of course, after this epic opening, we would normally be treated to a traditional James Bond title sequence. However, we are actually treated to that title sequence earlier in the game, right after James Bond makes his climactic jump off the bridge. While the original opening song, GoldenEye, was performed by the amazing Tina Turner, her voice has been replaced with Nicole Scherzinger, who does a fantastic job recapturing the vocals of Miss Turner. From here, the story revolves around a GoldenEye weapon system that sets off a lethal blast. Now Bond must unravel the mystery behind an enemy group called Janus and a helicopter that keeps making a getaway. Both of these tie into the GoldenEye weapon system. James must also finish what's been started and take down General Rumov and Xenia on the top, along with many more. Now, before you delve into the secret missions, you must decide which controller method you want to use. The Wii Remote and Nunchuck, Classic Controller, and even your GameCube controllers can be used. However, I have found that by using your Wii Remote and Nunchuck, you can actually tilt the Wii Remote to peek around from corners. This can only be performed with the Wii Remote and Nunchuck setup, which gives it the upper hand. Plus, you can use the Wii Zapper peripheral. Once your controller setup is in place, the action begins and the memories will begin to flow back. Check out some of these scenes and I'm sure you'll get a warm sense of deja vu.
Nine, 8, 7, 6.
Having to live up to the fanfare of the Nintendo 64 Classic, Eurocom has taken extra special care when it comes to the gameplay, which you will notice immediately the second you start playing GoldenEye. The same love was given to multiplayer as well, which consists of 2 main modes, 4-player offline split screen and 8 players online. Activision also made sure to include the fan favorite paintball mode. You're also going to see classic enemies like Oddjob, Jaws, Baron Samedi, and more. Activision and Eurocom set out to not only deliver a Bond experience like no other, but also to recapture the magic of the original game, which they did with flying colors. Fans of the Nintendo 64 version will be delighted to play GoldenEye, redesigned for the current generation of gaming consoles, and newcomers who have never played the original game can get the same experience with this outstanding remake for the Nintendo Wii and DS. Until next time, this is Jim Combs saying, no, no, no. No more foreplay. See you next time on Video Game Saga Spotlight segment. Be there or be square.
Don't even breathe. Punch in the security codes. Override the lockdown. Punch in the codes.
Are you going to kill me?
No. Alec, we're clear.
Well done.